Allow me to worship Chukwukika Biama on behalf of the entire family listening right across the length and breadth of this very planet. All of you who are ordained, all of you who are destined to perform wonders, I welcome all of you. Now, I will present you to Chukwukika Biama in heaven. Therefore, our Father who resideth in heavens above, looking down upon the pain and the suffering of your children, as was foretold by those who has gone before us, that a day will come when the world will gang up, when all the children of darkness will congregate to prevail against your children. That time is now. We are in pain. We are in so much suffering that man cannot begin to comprehend it. We ask for your mercy. We ask for you to come and present and provide a way where there is none. We ask you, Chukwukika Biama, we came amarani mendo muginine the Ipob ne beni ne di chiche ruwe beni ne owasotur kipe magi ne beregi bi krobaso ha oposi le kendo ha okwaso so eligwe. We call upon you this evening. The vultures are congregating, the saboteurs are rising up. We are beginning to identify them, and we are dealing with them. We ask you to give us the strength. We ask you for courage. We ask you for every ounce of determination and resoluteness. Make us as hard as steel, as only you can do. Baptize us in your word, in your knowledge, in your truthfulness, and in your strength. Make it impossible for our enemies to come close to us. Destroy them before they come very close. We will be tempted, of course. Our defenses will be tried without a shadow of a doubt. Sometimes there may be breaches, but in the end we prevail, because that is your word and that is your promise. This evening we hold on resolutely to that very command of yours. Your own spoken word. The word that you gave to your children when you said to them that they should not worship any idol, they should not bow before any graven image. We have made mistakes in our lives. We have bowed before European idols. We have done everything but worship you in truth and honesty. But now, having realized the errors of our ways, we present ourselves before you, that you may do with us as you please. So it was prayed thousands of years ago. That same prayer will re-echo, because we are nothing without you. We are nothing without you. We can have the best defenses in the whole world. We can procure the finest anti-jamming equipment available. But it is you that will defend your inheritance. You will defend Biafra. You know that we are honest and truthful people. You know that we preach this gospel in the knowledge that your children must be free in the land of the living, that they may go back and worship you in Zion as they have done thousands of years ago. This is our prayer now and always, because we are your children. You can't abandon us to the forces of evil and darkness. That is not your will, and it can never be. That is why today, tomorrow, and always, as you have called us to undertake this very monumental and epic task, as you have determined that your word must be preached in the land, that very land you gave to our ancestors thousands of years ago, so shall it be done in our lifetime. Allow us to be worthy to serve thee. Chukwa Biama, allow us to be considered worthy to serve you. You know we speak the truth. Our enemies are liars. They are cheats and they are killers. They are bloodthirsty bastards, all of them. All of them bar none. They have brought their lies to bear upon all their dealings. Their tongue is very spiteful. against those of them who are righteous before your sight. Please don't allow shame to befall your children. Don't allow shame to befall your name, because we answer your name, we bear your name. That is why today we make this very prayer in the sure knowledge that Biafra will be restored as your own kingdom upon the face of the earth. That you will be worshipped every blessed day of our lives, as our children will do, and so will their children. Until time everlasting we have prayed in your name. Ise.
We are here to ensure that the death of 3.5 million people is not forgotten. The reason why we exist is to ensure that their memory, that they can never ever be forgotten, that their memory will linger on forever, that as long as man walks this earth, this world will remember the 3.5 million people that they killed, men and women that did nothing, children that were innocent. Their only crime is to be blessed by God. That is the only crime they have committed. As those children were being slaughtered, as they were being starved to death by a very wicked and cruel world, spearheaded by Awolowo, everybody looked on and did nothing. Instead of them to help us, they ensured that our absolute blockade from land, air, and sea was absolute, that we may die, that the children of God may die. But lo and behold, Chukwuabiama determined that we cannot die, that we cannot perish.
Respect to my leader, Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, Ipob. Our people they for street, they suffer. Them they hustle for something to eat. Chukwuokike bless our land with resources, but we still living in poverty. Why are we living with pythons? We are living with vultures. In the zoo, there is no law, no constitution or human rights. Freedom is all we are asking for. Freedom is all we are asking for. You have to free our great nation we love and cherish. You have to free our great nation or all will perish.
They carry God around with the massacre. They kill our people and say we be animal. No food, teacher, no job, no joy. Mama, papa goes there for school, all in vain. Even the workers, no payment. Child was born in suffering, grown in suffering, see die in suffering. In this country, so a pity, a pity. We are no brothers, just let me go. No culture, no tribe, just let me go. Not religion or the same thinking. Can you tell me what makes us in unity?
Freedom is all we are asking for. Freedom is all we are asking for. You have to free our great nation we love and cherish. You have to free our great nation or all will perish. Is all we are asking for. Freedom is all we are asking for. You have to free our great nation we love and cherish. You have to free our great nation or all will perish.
Yes, once again, fellow Biafrans, lovers of freedom, men and women of goodwill, conscious people, wherever you are all over the world, I will say good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and to some of you, good night, depending on your time zone. This is still Radio Biafra Extra, and we are streaming live through Radio Biafra London, being anchored by the Deputy Leader of the Indigenous People of Biafra, Mazi Uchioka Fomefo. He is from Abatete. Abatete is in Anambra State. In Anambra State is BIAFRA land. He's standing on a deputizing capacity on behalf of our supreme leader, Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, the Prince of Afari Beku, heir to the throne of Ibeku Kingdom, the one and the only man who stood up to fight for the collective interest of the Biafran people. And by the grace of Chukwu Kikabiama, I remain George ONYIBE. I am from Abo. Abo is in Delta State, and Delta State is BIAFRA land. Of course, we give thanks and praise to the Almighty Creator, Chukwu Kikabiama, the one who sits in heaven and presides over the affair of man. For he is the one who has set our feet upon this path that we must follow. For without him, we are gone as a people. And so he remained the lifting up of our head, because we do not lift up our eyes to the hills, nor to the sea, but from where cometh our help. Our help comes from Chukwu Kikabiama. And then I will reference him this morning and say, I lift up my eyes to the hills, from where cometh my help. My help comes from the Lord, he who made heaven and earth. We lift up our eyes to the hills, from where cometh our helps. Our helps come from our God, he who made heaven and earth. The Lord will keep us from all evil, he who made our life, he who made heaven and earth. Anyị na-aja ya mma o, n'ihi na ọ bụ sọ mma o, ịhụnanya ya na-enaghị obiọma gị, o juru anyị anya dadị o, inwe gị mgbanwe o, ọ dịghị onye dịka gị, ịbụ Alpha na Omega, anyị niile na-asị na ịdị mma o. Without wasting much of our time, we will be going ahead just to revisit our leader's last broadcast. Because what I do not understand is when something group of individual, criminal-minded individual, I must tell you, because they are the only people this truth will elude. They sit back in their ivory tower and think they will continue deceiving everybody. But you can deceive some people sometime, but you cannot deceive the people all the time. And this is the truth. The biblical truth. The Quranic truth. The Ogomonical truth. Anyhow you want to put it, this truth cannot be overemphasized. And then those who think that this is how they are going to do us, you know, there is a language they use. It make me go sing. They say, don't worry, leave them. We can handle them. You can handle them, right? No, leave Nnamdi Kanu. We can handle him, right? No, don't mind about it, we can handle him. It's okay. No, is it not the Biafrans? IPOB, we can handle them. You can handle us, right? We are done with all of you. You will never steal in the secret again, because you will know that it is more justifiable. It is more righteous to steal in the open. You steal in the open because you are hungry, not because you are wicked. You can handle us, Abi, High Commissioner. You have to come to Abo. Look at them, stinking, useless set of hopeless people. Hey, is he British High Commissioner? Lower Commissioner, my foot. The woman even look like a Biafran Abino. Is he High Commissioner? Is he coming to see useless? When I know this shame. All of a sudden, High Commissioner of Britain disgrace we know no bound. You people don't know what you are doing. You think this is the era you go and gossip with the governors, so-called governors in Biafra, those animals fighting on my Facebook now, and then you give them some stipends. Hey, we are High Commissioner. You people, your shame and disgrace we know no bound. We are watching all of you. You are dancing nakedly in the marketplace, and the whole world is looking at all of you. What kind of a criminal steals from a people without gun, children, and you blackmail them in the end? BBC, roll out your media outfit. CNN, roll out your media outfit. Yoruba Gota Media, all of you get ready. All set here now. Hey, British High Commissioner. Hey, we are rejoicing. They are not in Biafra land. Oh, we are rejoicing. Then they all of a sudden, ECOWAS court now remember they killed people. I thought they didn't kill people. I thought it was a war to bring Biafra back to a Biafra. We are rejoicing. If you are there and you know you have been to Yoruba church like us, but we have been delivered, help me sing it. We are rejoicing that British High Commissioner come to Biafra land. Hey, we are rejoicing. Hallelujah, we are rejoicing. On our disgrace, no bandro. Like I said, we shall be revisiting our leaders' broadcast yesterday. And so that those who have here, let them hear. The Bible says, once have he spoken, and twice have we heard that Biafra must be restored. On I know they hear. Once has he spoken, and twice we have heard that Biafra must be restored. This is the only legal negotiation that will go on our behalf. If not, continue killing us. And when the number of those who will fall is complete, you people will know. We know what you did to the generation of Biafra in 1967 and 1970. And believe me, we are learning from all their mistakes. It shall become our strength in the end. For here, we are not here to conquer anybody. We are not here to take that which belongs to anybody. It is first of all God-given right, our right to self-determination. Before it was trampled, before there was ever United Nation, before there was ever NATO, before there was ever EU, AU, FU, whatever name you you call yourself? We were free men before our land was invaded. Whether the dispensation of exploration, dispensation of colonization, dispensation of amalgamation, dispensation of any fraudulent name you give to them. And now it is a dispensation of indirect truth, and most people don't know. Hey, we are happy, very happy. If you are close to your brother, tap them and say, hallelujah. Angel of High Commissioner from Britain, he visited Biafra land. Oh, our crops are now growing very well. Ogoni has cleaned up. River Niger has been constructed. Hallelujah, hallelujah. And there, look at them. You're playing with our intelligence. You are insulting our intelligence. If you think you are making a fool of all those governors, you will soon see that they are worthless than tissue paper. We want them to bring out everything they have. We want them. I think they are doing Operation Show Your ID card. Army is doing Operation Show. All of them in Biafra land. Shame on all of you. Just finish your own. We will come for part 2. You know, in a film, the boss is always doing gra-gra. The boss is always doing gra-gra. Everywhere boss, everywhere boss. But let me tell you, at the end of the day, you will know the true definition between Ato and booze or Setiana. But we must continue.
Good evening, wonderful people, great Biafrans, wherever you are on this very planet, this very creation of the Most High, Elohim, Chukukika Biama Purumi Yanine. I welcome you. As I do so, I will encourage you to welcome all those around you, friends, family, and lovers of freedom. This is an unadulterated live presentation on this very glorious temple of truth, on where the light will ceaselessly shine, that the restoration of Biafra may happen before us, before this very lucky generation. This gospel we shall preach unequivocally and without fear before our enemies. The Elohim may be merciful upon us. I say good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and good night to some of you, because unlike any other, this very hallowed platform, this very Radio Biafra, is listened to across the entire 24 time zones of this very world. Because we are Biafrans, we are everywhere. We are indeed the salt of this very earth. Wherever we go to, we bring light, we bring enlightenment, and we bring the glory of God upon that very community. Not minding the distractions or enemies, not minding all the
But of course, one or two technical issue, but we shall go back to where we are coming from. Because we wrestle not against flesh and blood. We wrestle against principality. We wrestle against power. We wrestle against wicked spirits in the heavenly places. But in the end, they will understand that we are not here to joke. They must hear this gospel. They must hear this gospel.
Is it 777 max or whatever they call it? Now, understand this very carefully. Let us compare the number of people that was killed in Onitsha with those that died in those twin air crash involving Boeing 777 max. I'm sure that's what they call it.
But of course, that is not where I want to start from. We have to start all over again. because our people must understand what is at stake. We must continue.
Is it in Biafra land? Is it in Biafra land? This program this evening is about correcting what I call defective reasoning in our people. We must begin by asking ourselves a very simple question. Why is it that other parts of the world are developing, including even the South American states that were only a few decades ago were classified as third world countries? Ask yourself this question. Why is it that South Africa that was built by white people is now going backwards? Ask yourself why there is the preponderance of dictatorship and totalitarianism in Africa. Ask yourself why politics in Africa is sentimentally loaded towards tribal and ethnic loyalty. Ask yourself why you do not have light. Ask yourself why you don't have drinking water. Ask yourself why you keep on allowing fool after fool, idiot after idiot to occupy the positions of power. Ask yourself why those that be would always find the need to manipulate and to rig elections to the detriment of the overall well-being of the entire population. Ask yourself why your schools are not functioning. Ask yourselves why you have no hospitals. Ask yourselves why you don't have any good roads. Ask yourselves why there is no housing. You should continue to ask yourself these questions, because any day you find the answer to it, believe you me, if somebody were to stand in front of you and say, I'm a Nigerian, you will shoot them dead, I'm telling you. Only then will you appreciate the gravity of the stupidity of a zoo animal. Only then will you understand it. You must pay very close attention this evening. This gospel is very important. You must understand it. This lecture this evening is directed primarily at Biafrans. Biafrans, all the way from Idoma land to Ipob. From Ebanke all the way from Ebanke to Bakassi. You must listen and listen very, very carefully and attentively this evening, because we all know that one Nigeria, one zoo is unworkable and is doing more harm than good. We have also seen with our eyes and in our own foolishness some people who can never be saved. All they talk about is presidency in 2023. All they talk about is the turn of our village and elected office. They have come. They have not learned anything. They are not good students of history. They are not scholars of social development and advancement. All they do is to sit in one place and pontificate over issues that are in fact quite frankly irrelevant. The only thing that can save you when you are in a quagmire, as our people have found themselves in today, is to seek redemption. That redemption comes from freedom. Freedom is the foundational base upon which every advancement is possible. You can be materially well off, you can be rich as much as you like, but if you do not have freedom, you are nothing. And no matter how hard you try, you can never attain that pinnacle of preeminence, the way that the United States have enjoyed more than any other civilization on the face of this very earth since the inception of mankind. Why is America the longest surviving civilization of its kind? It's because they have freedom. It may not be perfect, but they have it. They debate it, they advance it, they continue, they do all they like with it. Power primarily till this very day reside with the people. That is the reason why they are advancing. But in our place, all some fools want to talk about is election cycle. Election. And I've said this before. If election is the panacea, if election is that magic pill that when you take it, all your problems are solved, why are you queuing for visa to USA? Why do you want to travel to Europe? And let me ask you this question. The Prime Minister of Canada, is he from your village? The answer is no. So it doesn't actually matter who is in power. It is how the society is structured. I am not leaving it to the, should I say, the goodwill or the platitude, or should I say, expected good behavior of whoever is in power. You have to draw up, you have to lay the foundation, you need to prepare the structure upon which you pin all your hopes. And that is freedom. Not something that man can give you. It is something we can all give to ourselves through the grace of God in heaven. You must also understand, very, very importantly, very, very critically, as we advance this very evening, that our shops are being burnt. The latest one is in Dumota. They went to Onitsha, they firebombed it. People died. How many days we have all forgotten? We know how people value lives where we come from, but all of a sudden we no longer value lives anymore. We all understand that. When people die these days, it doesn't, at least in the most horrific of circumstances, it doesn't occur to anybody anymore to say, how do we stop this problem from happening again? I just want to draw this thing out so that you understand it very clearly. You know, there was an air crash involving Boeing 777 MAX, or whatever they call it. You know that. I want to show you an example between how white people reason and black people, and why white people are advancing and blacks are not, especially those from Africa. I want you to understand it in the way that you reason. What happened after the Ethiopia crash? Both the United States government and the Federal Safety and Transportation Board, whatever they call it in the USA, and Boeing and airlines all over the world sat down and said, we don't want to lose more lives. What did they do? They grounded the entire fleet of Boeing, is it 777 MAX or whatever they call it. Now, understand this very carefully. Let us compare the number of people that was killed in Onitsha with those that died in those twin air crash involving Boeing 777 MAX. I'm sure that's what they call it. If I'm mistaken, please correct me. We have not learned anything. Do you know that the Alamajiri came to Onitsha, packed their tanker, opened it up? Some idiots went to go and collect the highly inflammable liquid with open containers. The same Alamajiri set fire to it, and our people burned. Shops were burned. Businesses destroyed. Do you know that the same thing happened in Mbano? Some people foolishly went to go and replicate exactly what happened in Onitsha. The same happened in Newe. We know that the one at Omaba, they decided to go and explode and destroy our businesses. They are burning our businesses in Lagos. They are burning our businesses in Kanu. Even the Nigerian government have now compelled the Ghanaian government to suppress our people in Ghana who are doing their legitimate business in Ghana, asking them to shut down their shops. Do you know the funniest thing? This is not the number one threat news for our people. It is not the number one discussion point for our people. All some fools are concerned about is about 2023. It's about how to elect their friend or their village man to go to Abuja and become something that nobody had ever become before in the zoo. Something that Sikh never became. Something that Hiroshi tried and failed. Something that Ipob tried and was frustrated. Waforis was there for some months. What happened? Nothing happened. Till this very day. The same group of people responsible for the deplorable state of our roads, those who couldn't build hospitals, those who are presiding over our crumbling schools, those who have made it their life's mission to frustrate the yearnings and aspirations of our youth. You graduates have no job, and all you can do is to try and defend the system that is indefensible. Can't you see that you have something wrong with you upstairs? Oshanja Market was burnt. We have sent our commiserations. The same thing we are doing for those at Idumota in Lagos. Ebonyi State, some of you do not know, is an active theater. As we speak, Fulanis are struggling to take our land, and Ipob is there telling them it will never happen. Some of you don't know that the so-called boundary disputes between so-called indigenous of Benue and those in Ebonyi, that they are fighting brother. You don't know that? Some of us don't know this. There are some people in the northern part of Ebonyi, and down to the eastern part of Ebonyi as well, who do not know that these boundary disputes, all these community clashes were engineered by Fulani Caliphate to divide us. Do you know that the Igbos in Ebonyi are fighting Igbos in Benue? Are you aware of that? Some of you don't know. And now the Fulanis will come with their cattle to take over our land by claiming after all it is in dispute. Are you aware of that? Do you know that? You see, this is how we'll touch this later on. When people say that you don't have regard for the lives of Ohanese and the governors, I say to them for a good reason. If I were to be, or if I was the leader of our people during the gerrymandering of our borders, I would tell them no. You better kill me or put me in prison before you gerrymander our borders away. How can you have 3 Igbo-speaking communities, Igbo-speaking, count them into Benue, and today they are the ones fighting their own brother
Biafrans, their own flesh and blood, because one stupid illiterate Mazi from the north said that here is now the new boundary. And the Ohanese accepted it. The so-called we are the elite, they accepted it. The balkanization of your own land, you accepted it in order to please your Fulani masters, because of the contracts they will give you, because they will make your child a minister, because they will give you a senatorial seat, or maybe a governor. The same thing happened in Cross River. Igbo-speaking communities in Cross, of course we are one people, we are the same Biafra. I'm just trying to tell you how we that claim we are sensible have allowed Fulani Caliphate that didn't go to school, cattle raiders, to be manipulating and twisting our brain. Of course I know the Britain is advising them, I know that very well. It's part of divide and rule. Why don't you cut them into two? Take half and give them to the other people and tell them they're not part of Igbo, and then they will agree. That's what idiots are doing in Anioma. No, we are countering them, are we not? These are the things you ought to know. Every blessed day people don't reason anymore. Our people no longer reason. They burn your shops in Onisha. They burn it in Aba. They burn Nnewi. They burn Idumota. They burn those in Kano. And you get up in the morning and you carry on as if nothing has ever happened to you. You're just blissfully ignorant of the threat you're facing, not just as an individual or your family, but as a race. We are in mortal danger. And who are those to blame? They are the people that the British High Commissioner have come to see. She started her tour yesterday. She will finish tomorrow. And some people stupidly and foolishly ask, what is it that IPOB is doing? They cannot see anything because you are blind. If not for IPOB, why do you think the British High Commissioner will come to Biafra land to talk about heaven knows what? I will go into that in details later. Why do you think she came? To talk about peace and one Nigeria. If nothing is happening, nobody should come. And if something is happening as it is really happening, who are those responsible for that? Is it not IPOB? Who else is doing it? Who else has the capacity, the intellectual capacity, or should I say, the clout to do or to compel the British High Commissioner to visit Biafra and they never go? They don't visit. The previous one came when I was in Kuje prison to ask them if I should be killed or released. I know what some of the so-called frontline politicians and traditional rulers said. I know. Because in Britain there is Freedom of Information Act. If you ask questions, they will give you the information. I want to sound a note of warning to everybody, the so-called traditional rulers, the so-called politicians, anything you say to the British ambassador, let me call her ambassador, the High Commissioner, we in IPOB will hear about it. All we need to do is to apply for Freedom of Information Act, demanding to know what transpired when the woman went to Enugu and a few other places, and they will tell us exactly what you said. And then we will come after you. The only thing we want is Biafra. If you want to contest for presidency for the rest of your life, you and your family, you, your wife and your children, that is your business, do it within Biafra. Not within the zoo. Because they have nothing to offer, and I shall also demonstrate later on. I will tell you why contesting in Nigeria is foolish and hopeless. If not for IPOB, who else? I ask. And who are you? Can you do it? Do you have the liver or the stomach? You can't do it. You can stand by the side and yap all you like. You cannot do it. You are not called to do it. You don't have what it takes to embark on this very mission. So when we speak, you must listen. The same way that I told you that Fulanis were coming, some of you thought it was a joke, and they came. They killed, they slaughtered, they raped our mothers, they pillaged, and they went. Nothing happened to them. Because the first operation Python dance came, nobody did anything. That is why now every 2 weeks they have another operation happening in the southeast. Southeast is a theater of war. No longer northeast, but southeast this time around. Some of you foolishly go through social media like idiots who cannot listen. Somebody's telling you to your face, I am coming to kill you, I am coming to take your family away from you, and you're there foolishly and hopelessly responding to comments and issues with sarcasm. And I wonder, what sort of people are you? What we are doing now was exactly what happened during slavery. The white man will travel all the way from the USA, from Europe, they will come to West Africa, they will harvest us like you are harvesting cassava in the farm. How many people come for the raid? Not up to 5 white people, not up to 5. They will raid the students of 2,000-3,000. Put us in their ship. One person will be waiting for one white man to tie our legs with chain and our hands. Onto it. One white man will tie us to 1,000 people. And we are there watching. Like me. And that's what we are doing today. Exactly what we are doing today. They are killing us, they are destroying us, they are making our life a mystery. And also idiots can think about it. It's presidency. Whatever happened to freedom? Before the white man came, did we live in the same country with Fulani people? The answer is no. Did the world come to an end? The answer is no. Some idiots say it is you need population to have power. That God created Nigeria. And I asked them, I want you to go and Google who created the United States of America, who created Canada, who created Scotland, who created England, who, simple Google search, who created Russia, who created Japan, and then you come back and write in or ask Google who created Nigeria. Compare all the answers and you will see it. You will see before your own eyes. Your stupidity will begin to leave you tonight if you can just try this. That is to tell you that only God can create a nation. Because when you put in who created Nigeria, you will see Frederick Lugard. But when you ask for other civilized nations, you can never see one single soul, because nations emerge organically. Organic growth. Before England came into existence, they had the Normans. No, they had the Vikings, they had the Saxons, they had the Normans. William the Conqueror, 1066, the first king of England, at the Battle of Hastings, defeated the Celtic king and established Frenchmen. They are French. The first king of England was a Frenchman, William, from Normandy. That is how nations emerge. Nobody, if you ask people now who created England, they can never tell it is William of Normandy. Never. Because they know it's God that can create. There are forces at play before a nation emerges. Forces at play. One man embarked, they called him back from Hong Kong. He boarded a rickety ship only to stop the eastern advance of the French in Dahomey. They said, your name is Nigeria, and somebody is saying, I am proud to be a Nigerian. Did you see how foolish you are? Did you see how stupid you are? Did you see why we call you animals? Did you see the reason why Nigeria is a zoo? Can you now begin to appreciate this very fact? That you were created by a white man. Therefore, you are subhuman. Therefore, you can never, with any sense of credibility, claim to be a child of God. Because you're a child of a contraption created by a fellow mortal. Shame upon you. Shame upon all of you that say you are Nigerians. Shame upon you. We will continue. As we speak tonight, an active theater of conflict. Autonomous community against autonomous community. That's what they want. That is what they want. When the international community asks questions about Ebony, as we've been telling them in the USA, they'll say, oh, they are people, they are fighting themselves. And the mighty will come to our land, divide us into pieces and say, you're now part of heaven knows what the name is. And you start fighting each other because we have failed to reason. People who didn't go to school, people that move cattle from place to place, people that drink the blood of cattle. Oh my goodness. Do you know we don't eat blood? Do you know we don't eat blood? Those are the people who are now your Lord and your Master, because you're so hungry, devoid of dignity, that you no longer know your place at the table. That's how sad it is. Then we shall continue. We have become deaf and unheeding to warning signs that our enemies do not mean well for us. Fulani do not mean well for us. Anytime you open your useless mouth to say one Nigeria, you are bringing the end of our race closer. You are seeking to destroy us as a people. You are doing something that you're not supposed to do. And that is hastening the demise of our race. Because Nigeria shouldn't have existed in the first place. The white man cannot go and create a country elsewhere, only in Africa. Because Africans are stupid. And you see Africans say, I will do everything I can to defend this white man's creation. No wonder they bow down before a graven image of a white person. They bow down before an idol, graven image. That is where you get your inferiority complex from. That is the foundational basis of your stupidity, your ignorance and your hopelessness. That is why we are poor. That is why we cannot build roads. That is why we have engineers who cannot build our own bridges. We rely on Geostega. That is why we have doctors. People are traveling abroad for medical treatment. That is why we have teachers. But our schools are crumbling and they learn nothing. You say in a country where, as a deliberate government policy, history is not taught in schools, and people just carry on. I mean, are you two human beings or what? Are you sure you're human beings? Maybe some were created to serve a very, should I say, useless purpose in life. And Nigeria is making all of you to fulfill that. When an idiot says, I love Nigeria, Nigeria is my country, you are looking at a complete animal, an unrepentant beast, forever and ever, because they cannot reason. Their brain is not working. As people come together to say, we now want to create a country or a nation called XYZ, that is understandable. You can say the people sat at so and so day and decided to come together to form their own nation or their own country. A white man came to come and do business with Royal Niger Company, just pure business, economic transaction, and ended up calling you, giving you a name, and you're answering. The same way I gave my dog, Jack, a name is how the man named all of you Nigerians. I'm a proud Nigerian. We Nigerians, I look at these fools and I pity them. I pity them honestly. Something I used to ask myself, that there is no way God can make people more stupid as He has made Nigerians. People can, there is no other law. People cannot know any lower. In terms of stupidity, there is no other place to go. That is the absolute rock bottom of ignorance and hopelessness. What I say, I back it up with facts. Britain has come, but why have they come, you may ask? We are about to find out this very evening. British High Commissioner, they have come again. Did they used to come before? No, they never came before. Why have they come? That is the question. I will tell you, because it's everywhere. And listen very carefully and attentively, please. The British High Commissioner to the Zoo, Catriona Lang is her name, has completed plans to embark on a tour of Imo, Anambra, and Enugu states from November 5 to 7. 5th to the 7th, which is yesterday, today, and tomorrow. British High, what is she coming from? During Operation Baton Dance, they never came. When they kill our people, they never. Maybe now they can see what their boys are doing on the ground, what their Fulani boys are doing. Killing and maiming, arresting and detaining without trial, extorting money at multiple checkpoints. Maybe now she can see it, what their Fulani boys, house niggers, are doing for them on the streets of their land. They have said it all, and the reason is, why is she coming at this time? That is the problem. Anytime we make a diplomatic move abroad, you see them back in the zoo, you see them back at home, trying to connive, trying to how can I put it? Trying to put a stop to what they know is unstoppable. This IPOB that I heard, I'm being honest with you, nobody can stop it. It doesn't matter who you are. Only God in heaven can, and Chukwu Abiyama cannot. Because this was what He mandated that should be done. The reason why my father married my mother is for where we are today, that Biafra may come. They have served their purpose. Write it down somewhere. On this platform, I said to you that I will sacrifice everything, including my parents. I said it on Radio Biafra. And I will do it 10 times over. And Biafra will come. It doesn't matter. I say to our enemies, double your efforts, do whatever you can to stop us. You can never succeed. Because they say one with God is majority. We are not asking for something that doesn't belong to us. We are asking for freedom for everybody, including the Alamajiris who cannot go to school, including those who are on the streets doing Babiala. We want everybody to be free, have to have a very decent life, but you cannot get it with one candidate in charge. It is not possible. Not in a trillion years. Just in a trillion years. Those who were heads of state at the age of 31, 32, 33. When a 50-year-old is talking, they say, oh, you're a small boy. But you were a minister at the age of 29. And the most painful thing is that, oh my God, is the education system in the zoo. I think that is what we ought to be blaming, to be honest with you. Very sad indeed. Let us go back to British High Commissioner. When you are Megan Nnamdi, what's she come to do in our land? What's she doing in Biafra land? She has come because the effect of what we did in the USA is now reaching them. Important people are asking questions. I granted an interview to VOA, which is listened to in over 240 languages across the world. So the world is aware of what we are doing now. Previously, they never knew. In being honest with you, they told us they never knew, but now they know. And do you know why the British diplomat is coming? He's coming to find out if these waves we are making all over the world, this thing that IPOB is doing, do they have the support of their Fulani slaves amongst our people? That's why she has come. That's why she came. And that's why they will continue coming. Anytime we make any serious inroad abroad, you will see them coming. One Nigeria is unbreakable. Nigeria, pray for Nigeria, because they know that in as much as I'm alive and IPOB is here, I will break Nigeria into pieces. When I speak, write it on a piece of paper. Bring your jealousy, your greed, your envy, bring everything you have, or stop one bit, add it on top of it. You cannot stop this movement. Nobody can. No Jupiter can. You cannot. I say it with every ounce of conviction that no human being born of mortal flesh can stop IPOB. You have not been given birth to. I'm ready. Now listen, this woman came. Why? This is what her office said, the British High Commission, that is, which is the British Embassy in this. This is what they have to. I call it zoo because I can't call that place Nigeria. It means nigger area, the place of black, down and out people of darkness, the police, people who are blind. It's called Nigeria, nigger area. That's the meaning of it. I can't be calling you. So the zoo is even better for you. During her time in the Southeast, according to the British High Commission, Tatiana will engage with, listen, they have come, listen carefully, engage with government officials and civil society groups in the states, the one she'll be visiting. I am very much looking forward to this trip to the Southeast. The first time, listen, the first time I will be visiting the region as British High Commissioner. The first time. She's come. She's been to other places, so. Why she can begin? Is this she loves you? No. It's to stop IPOB, that's why they have come. Can they stop us? Are you worried? Are you panicking? They can never ever stop us. It is impossible. Impossible. I'm telling you the truth. Before God in heaven and man on this earth, it is impossible. Nobody can stop IPOB. Impossible. She's coming for the first time. Listen, the Southeast is a cradle of culture, not our name, but in the England she comes from. Listen carefully to me. In the England where this woman comes from, they have Lancashire, they have Yorkshire, they have Cornwall, they have Wales, they have Merseyside, they have Teesside, they have all the shires you can think of. But where I come from, the land of my ancestors, the land of the ancients, my name is Southeast. Southeast of where? I'm just asking, Southeast of where? She said, I am coming to the Southeast a name. If I'm traveling to Germany, I can go to Bavaria, I can go to Westphalia, I can go to all those other beautiful places like Hamburg. I'm just to say, well, I'm traveling to the Southeast of Germany. Does that make sense to you? If you go to USA, say, oh, I'm traveling to the northeast of USA, they'll ask you where exactly. Is it Washington? Is it New York? Is it Delaware? Is it Massachusetts? Where are you going to? My name is Southeast, according to the British. This is what they told the Fulani house niggers to call us. Your name is Southeast. Some people read this, they laugh and they smile. If you ask them, where do you come from? They say, we're from the Southeast. That's how foolish you are. You can't even start up and say, no, my name is not Southeast, my name is Igbo, or my name is Biafra, or my name is Efik, or my name is Ibibi, or my name is Idoma, my name is... Even if you say Wenke, if you want, of course we know that Igbo. You can say I'm Kalabari, you can say I'm Izon, you can say I'm Oron, you can say I am Ibibio. That is who you are. That is your ancient identity from your ancestors from the time immemorial. Not Southeast, South, Upper Delta, Lower Delta, rubbish, nonsense. Look at how a white woman is using your brain because you are fools. You cannot reason, you cannot think properly, you cannot digest the information because you lack the ability to criticize and think properly. Your name is Southeast. But okay, somebody should write to the commissioner, to British High Commissioner, and ask her, where are you from? She said UK, yes. Which part of UK are you from? She will tell you, I'm a Scot, I'm Scottish. But when I meet her, she will expect me to say, I am from Southeast. Does Southeast have a name? Is that a name of somebody Southeast? Is it Southeast of Afghanistan? Or Southeast of Uzbekistan? Southeast of where? Do you know, when I said to my father I want to travel to England to go and study, he asked me why. I said, because you cannot learn anything at UNN. So that is the premier university. People pray to go into UNN. I said, I am not going to that one. This is not school. Do you know what it means to be in a citadel of knowledge university? That is like a glorified secondary school. I said to my father, I will not go. You know, I said I'm not going anywhere until he sent me to England, and he did. That is how we roll. What I seek is knowledge. knowledge more than anything else in the world. Wisdom and knowledge is all I seek. Nothing more, nothing less, and things must be done properly. That is why I am not a millionaire. If I wanted to be, I could have become, but I said no. Because this is right. You cannot be a millionaire and your people are reasoning like imbeciles. I wouldn't use the word imbecile because it's a disability. People reason like fools. I won't allow that. We must reason properly. A woman is coming to my land and she's calling me Southeast, yes? And I'm asking her, where are you from? Southeast, where are you from yourself? But of course she can't answer. They said listen to her, to what she said. She's trying to bottle us up now because we are fools. Southeast is the cradle of culture, education, trade and investment. I'm excited to get a first-hand view of the strides the governments and leaders in Imo and Enugu are making in the development of their states. Development. Do you see how evil they are? In Britain, which I respect very much, they know this very well. I respect England because I've said it many times that it is the most civilized piece of territory on the face of this very earth, without a doubt. Because in England, they do things by reason. If you can go to court and convince the courts that black is blue, they will rule in your favor. Maybe not these days, but in the olden days. Where reason prevailed, England. After seeing the arrested development in our land, she's saying the strides they're making. Do you know what she's saying? They're making strides because they're working with Fulani. Fulani have told them what to say. If you go look for Obiano, if you go look for these are the idiots you're using, but go and promote them and say they're doing very well. So because you're a white woman, you see, if those foolish Igbos see you as a white woman praising that baboon of a governor, they will say, oh, since a white woman has said that the governors are trying, that maybe they're trying. Are you following what I'm saying? They can deceive you, but not us. They can't deceive us. I'm only on number one. No, I've not started. Only on number one to tell you why they have come. And the reason, the only thing she will take away, this high commissioner will take away from Biafra land, the heart of Biafra land is this. That's okay. We are still doing our job. We have seen them, and they're not going to stop Biafra anytime soon. That's why she came. You never came before. It's now that I went to Washington, went to the Senate and to the House of. To the Congress and back is now that you remember that you need to go and see the strides they're making. Not talk about those that they killed, but Britain is at the forefront of making sure that the protest in Hong Kong is going on. Britain cover every protest in the world. They report, they write. But anytime we are killed, the same people you claim you care about, they have been slaughtering us since 2015. You've said nothing about it, not condemned them, because we are black people and we do not reason very well. We are the cradle of education. That is what the High Commissioner said with her mouth. But when it comes to presidency, you support Nnamdi from the north, where there is no education. But here you're saying Biafrans are the cradle of education. But when it comes to presidency, there is something I'll play for you later on. You will tell me any country that will support even contemplate allowing such a person to be on the ballot paper, the name of such a person, talking about voting him in, rigging the alter ego into office. That is the thing wrong with our people, and we must correct it. We are correcting this. Is Radio Biafra. We are live and we are direct on one topic. I spent 1 hour on British visits to Biafra land. Because of my visits to Washington, I've taken almost 45 minutes. Then we must continue, unless some people are complaining about their data that they want to go. Then others will, perhaps give them the details later on. But for now, we must proceed. Now that the British High Commissioner is in Biafra land, maybe she has come to see the population reduction strategy, because Britain supported Fulani during the war to kill us, to Islamize us. It's on record, it's a known fact. They have removed every trace of Biafran war from British archives. That is also a known fact. I keep asking myself, and I keep asking my British friend, why do you hate Biafra so much? What did we do to you? What did we do? I keep asking, what did Biafra do to Britain that Britain has this hatred, this blind hatred for Biafra? Why? Because we fought you for nearly 100 years before the school fell. What is it? Because of the Quebec fought you? Okay, you went to Fulani and accepted the Alabatiri because they have nothing upstairs. They accepted you. That is why you must destroy the Biafran race. Dividing us into Niger Delta and Igbo didn't save you. Southeast and South didn't work. Now it is to come and supervise the killing of our people. Are you telling me the British never knew? Are you telling me they never knew what Buratai is doing? Are you telling me that the British mission to the zoo called Nigeria that they created don't know what is happening to our people, that we are being killed? Will she allow British people, Britons, to be killed the same way the Britons are being killed? Will she be happy? The answer is no. Why do they hate us? These are the people that gave us the Bible, gave us Anglican Church, Methodist Church, Presbyterian one, which one is a Baptist. They gave us just name it. And our people from our brothers from Rome gave us Catholic. But in everything they do, they support Islam. In all of these people, all they do is support it to come and kill us. That is the truth. You may not want to, but this is, you know, honestly speaking, I don't give a damn how you feel. If you're happy, that is entirely your business. I am here to speak the truth. If you go and research it, you will not tell me the truth. Very sad indeed. They have come to see what is happening to us, and our people are complaining. They say it's harassment, that our people are being harassed. If we go on the road, they kill us. If we come out, who are the ones complaining? Southeast commuters lament harassment, extortion by soldiers. The same thing I told you how many years ago that I said it's just all over the place. And I told you then that you will lament and nobody will listen to you. Because anything I say here is gospel, it must come to pass. I told you that you would lament. Fulani will deal with you to such an extent that you will be lamenting, but nobody will listen to you. Is anybody listening? Instead of the British High Commission to come and listen to our complaints, she is coming to see how well Ibasu is doing. But we should go to Aba. Go to Aba and see how well he's doing. They come online and show you pictures of flyover in Taiwan, and some idiots are jumping up and down, calling a mother excellency. This black people, black. You people have taken ignorance to a whole new level. You have taken ignorance to a whole new shining level. I'm telling you the truth. We are lamenting. That's how we do. We lament. We lament. After all, they say we want Nigeria. We want to be in one Nigeria. My country is Nigeria. People without shame. My country is Nigeria. Let me tell you what they are reporting in the paper. They said commuters and drivers flying various roads in the southeast have lamented the high level of intimidation and extortion by soldiers at checkpoints. Who brought them? Ibazu, Umahi, Obiano, Blochas, Aboga Hausa. They brought them into our land to kill us because they don't like freedom. They like the way they are. You see them yesterday, the Syrian governor, the way he kneels down. After all, what was also kneeling down a few years ago, we understand, to be the president. Once you kneel down in front of Al-Majri, will say, hey, look at Nnamdi kneeling down. Yeah, Bill, don't say you go to school, but say you are kneeling down. Okay, Nnamdi, get up, I'll give you Syrian governor. Nnamdi, what do you want? Senator, I make this Nnamdi senator. Those are the idiots you call your leaders. Those are the fools you call your leaders. Now the army is there. It was our great leader's birthday lecture yesterday, if I'm not mistaken. Ojubu, the pioneer of what we are doing today. It was his birthday. They could not use that opportunity to say that what the soldiers are doing on our streets is intolerable. No, they couldn't. They cannot say it. They're not IPOB, so they can't say it. Only IPOB can. And some people still call them leaders. Commuters are complaining to come to each other. Not to the elected so-called Abuja representing Nnewi South constituency at the Federal House of Assembly, whatever they call it. But there are soldiers in your village, 15 checkpoints in Nnewi, extorting money from people, and you're a lawmaker in Abuja. All that you care about is Nigeria is one, cannot be broken up. Whereas Al-Majri is in your village, raping your mothers, and you're a leader. Somebody, you wake up in the morning and you call these people your leaders. I don't tell you, what do you understand to leadership? Does it mean you don't know the meaning of the word leadership? Or what a leader is supposed to be doing? Or what a leader is supposed to be saying? Instead of complaining to a Yoruba newspaper Punch, why don't you complain to your so-called leaders? And Agadabachilos are 1, 2, 3 to 12. Because you don't reason properly. There is a saying in Igbo, you don't abandon the correct process and procedure of doing something and you think you get any traction out of it. Of course not. You are being extorted because you are in one Nigeria. You are being extorted because you believe in one Nigeria. You are being extorted because you are foolish enough to believe that the Fulanis will never like you. You are hopeless. You know nothing. Commuters crying. And you would think that perhaps there is a problem, or maybe the issues are that there is insecurity. Let us hear what the army has to say. And this clip you are about to hear is everywhere on social media, it's on Facebook, it's everywhere. If Facebook hasn't taken it down, because Facebook is working for the two. You know that Facebook is working for Nigeria. So they do all they can to suppress every IPOB, BIAFRA, Nnamdi Kanu related article. Of course, you know that very well. But this is not about IPOB. But something came out of it. And I want you to, I'm going to play a clip for you. Let me try and get it and play it for you. So you will listen and understand what is happening in the zoo. And anybody from Biafra claiming they are one Nigeria, one Nigeria to be one, after listening to this clip, you will feel ashamed of yourself and your family that you came from. I'm going to play it for you. And I want you to listen very attentively and understand the mess you are in. The mess that the British High Commissioner will not let you see or understand. I want people to appreciate the nonsense that is happening to us. And pray to Elohim for IPOB to give us more strength and courage. I'm going to play it for you. You must listen attentively, please. Listen very carefully. I'm not in this position, cannot post this on my wall, but listen. And I want this shared everywhere to those who are listening. Like I think it was Niger Loop that put the video together. Very, very interesting. That as with every other thing, it enters through one ear, the right ear, and goes out to the left one, because we are black. We don't retain critical information, we don't analyze it, and we don't utilize it. In any other country of the world, after this very testimony by this lawmaker, Nigeria army will be recalled back into the back immediately. But you are black, dumb, and sometimes a bit foolish. What can you do? Nothing. You keep lamenting to a newspaper columnist about your life, when you have all it takes in your hands to decide that enough is enough. When will enough be enough for some of you? Let me play this clip for you so you understand it. I'm going to play it if it will play.
Members of the press and staff of this National Assembly, if you ask them to bring out their national ID card, I don't think you can have more than 50% of people that can pass through this time. The truth of the matter is, it has not been provided to all Nigerians. As I'm talking to you now, and I want you to talk to the theater in Borno, by 6 a.m., if you go to National ID Card office in Maiduguri, you have more than 2,000 people without fear of any contradiction. Queuing up. Among them, you have Chadians, you have people from Niger Republic, you have people from Cameroon Republic. They are queuing up. And one of the requirements for you to get the National ID Card is for you to just have access to indigenization letter from any of the local government, which is very porous. Everybody can go and obtain each letter for a local government and acquire national ID card. Another thing, which is so pathetic, the content of the national ID card contains expiry date. It has never been in the history of mankind where a national identification item is contained expiry date. So if at all my card now is expired, it shows I'm not holding one. So sir, I'm just trying for just as a matter of emphasis what is happening. Let me just round up. And lastly, with regards to the issue of persons holding means of identification will be allowed by the military men whenever they are conducting maybe cordon and search. To me, I'm a barrack boy. My father is a retired military officer. I have never seen a situation whereby a military man is doing a job or police work, if I can put it, or paramilitary work. I've never seen it in my life. We went to Maiduguri for an oversight. One of the problems of Nigeria is lack of manpower. And now you want to overstretch the limited number you have for this. So sir, so this is it. The Nigerian state.
I will not allow the army officer to respond. I will do that later. But you've just heard the voice of an Alamajiri from the north. He said he's a barrack boy. The father was, as with all of them in the north, the father was a military man, because the British rightly advised us to be going to school, which is a good thing. No, in fact, you have to farm to do other things to send your child to school in Biafra land. Awolowo did very well by extending scholarship to a great number of people in the west, and in the north they went to the military, because the British told them, don't worry, leave those people, they want to read book. Yeah, just take the AK, take the assault rifle. That is where the power lies. So everybody in the north is in the army. Once you can read A, B, C, D to M, you can go into the army. Not to see or no, that will be too difficult for some of them. Now listen to what this man said. At least he has conscience. He has conscience. He's a lawmaker. You know what he said? He said that the whole ID card nonsense that the army is using to come to Biafra land, to intimidate, to rape, to pillage, and to assault is non-existent. That's number one. There's no ID card. They have not issued ID card to anybody. But they have said that they are coming and they're inspecting ID cards in our land. When the man responds, you will hear what he has to say, the army officer. This man also said that you people, when people talk about one Nigeria, I go into apoplectic rage. I go insane. This is a lawmaker, so he knows more than you. He's from the north. What he said that Chadians, people from Nigeria and Cameroon are coming into Katsina, into Sokoto, into Kanu, into Oyeborno, and collecting your Nigerian ID card. Are you not listening? Are you deaf? Is this the one Nigeria you're defending? I'm asking you, is this the one Nigeria you are defending? I'm asking you this question. Where somebody can just stroll over from Chad and the message is not difficult. What does it take to get a national ID card to become a Nigerian? So when you go outside and commit crime, they say it is people from Biafra. Access to a local government, just a government letter. They all speak Fufude, they speak Hausa, they speak whatever. They go, do you know who is who? Do you know, can you tell one Almajiri beggar from the other? But in Babiana, they go and collect their ID card. But they are Chadians, they are from Niger, and they are from the Cameroon. And you are in the south, talking nonsense about one Nigeria. I said you're insane. Do you see how complex one Nigeria is? This is from a lawmaker in the zoo in Nigeria, telling you that your ID card is a scam. He also said that the ID card has expiry date. It's just like saying to those in the UK that your NI card or your NI card has an expiry date. How can they have an expiry date? But only in the zoo, all they try to do is to extort you. And instead of you to rise up and revolt, try IPOB, do what is needed to be free. You'll be thinking about 2072 is our turn. Anyway, you're not black African for nothing. You must exhibit some level of stupidity. It comes with, with the territory of where you come from. Very sad indeed. He grew up in the barracks and he said, I have never seen a military man doing police work, especially even in a democracy. How can a military man be doing police work? What is the essence of democracy? Are we in a democracy or military rule? I will allow the army man to answer in a minute. And the lawmaker also said, there is no manpower in Borno. They don't have soldiers to fight Boko Haram in Borno, but they have soldiers in Biafra land intimidating us. And why they do it? Because your so-called governors, leaders, your so-called leaders, they are there. They invited them to come. Where there is insurgency in the north, nothing is happening. Where there is no manpower, no, they will not redeploy there. Why should they? They have Judeo-Christians in the east to come and suppress and kill and pillage. And Britain is clapping for them. Now, let us hear what the army has to say, and this will shock you. Even if you are so stupid that you cannot put one and one together to get you, what this man is about to say will shock you. If I thought you have any brain left, it just shock. You know me, I don't mince words here. I don't believe in painting words. To say something so you will feel good about yourself, you must be insane, because you have refused to reason. You've refused to learn. Army are in your village killing people. Fulani headsmen, which is Yama, and your village raping your mothers, destroying your farmland, taking over your land. And you are in Lagos in Abuja saying, I'm proud of one Nigeria. And you're telling me that you're normal? Is it true? Okay. No, I don't think so. Let us hear what the army has to say, and this will shock you. Please listen very carefully. It is in a war situation, and whether we like it or not, even though the constitution has not been suspended, we are doing everything in line with the constitution, because the constitution empowers the Nigerian army to come in aid of other security agencies when need arises and to cut. I will stop him there. Even though the constitution has not been suspended, but the army have themselves unilaterally suspended the constitution, because they are using raw power and intimidation, because they know that Jubril is not Buhari. So that once you get up and you speak, you'll be killed. That's what they're doing. Yes, nobody is not to say it. Although it's not been suspended. Because you people did not write it. It's something as with the two Nigeria. In fact, it just occurred to me now, I'm trying to draw this parallel. Lugar came from Scotland and came and created this zoo. All of you are jumping one Nigeria, because of course you're daft. The same way that a poorly educated military man, Abdul Salami, wrote constitution for civilians. And all of you are jumping up and saying you defend that constitution of Nigeria. That is why they sack loyal judges at will. That is why they do whatever they like. That is why corruption is rampant. That is why the army can get up and say they have suspended the constitution. But you're all answering democracy or democrats by mouth. By mouth only. How can you claim you are in a democracy when the army is on the street molesting people, asking for a non-existent document, an ID card that somebody from Chad can come and take and go? Are you telling me you people don't get at all? You people, those that are you people, are you normal? Are you sure your brain is okay? Oh dear me. Let's continue to hear him. The army have on their own suspended the constitution. You can't do anything about it. How is in charge? The cabal is in charge.
Such other functions as will be approved by the National Assembly. And I think that's what we're doing. And many of these activities, you may not necessarily, they are not enumerated in the constitution, so they are not even things you can say, oh, we say we are supposed to.
Did you know what he said? The things they are doing is not in the constitution. What the army is doing, it is not constitutional. It is not in the constitution. Then why are they doing it? Because there is martial law. That's what you don't know. The army spokesman opened his mouth and said, what we are doing is not in the constitution. And if it is not in the constitution, who authorized you to do it? Who gave you the power to do it? It is not the constitution. Is the National Assembly? The answer is no. The National Assembly never voted and asked to do all these things you're doing. And so you know, so brother knows that what he's doing is not in the constitution, but they're doing it anyway. Because Nigerians are fools. Complete and utter fool animals they are.
Is this and that. But in the course of doing that particular major activity, we come up with other ideas and other activities that support that particular activity.
The army is coming up with their own ideas. Not according to law. No. This is a man. This is an army. I don't know his name. He's an army spokesman. He said, I want something, all of you, I want this video to be shared everywhere. It was put together quite cleverly by Nigeria. May God bless them. Of course, they can buy them over tomorrow and ask them to attack Ipob, BIAFRA, and Nnamdi Kanu. It doesn't matter. But if you do something right, we will commend you. This video must be put everywhere. The army said, we make up our own laws. We decide what to do. That's what he's saying. We, the army, we decide what to do. We make up laws and anything we like, we do. You are bloody civilians, can't think about it. In a democracy in Africa, only in Africa, because an African man does not actually understand the meaning of white man's democracy. They don't know the meaning of it. Their brain cannot comprehend it. Let's continue. Listen to this very fluid and erudite army spokesman.
I think we're in line. So I want to use the opportunity to appreciate you and call you and let you know that, look, this particular activity or this particular operation that military is undertaking, because it's not affecting your area doesn't mean you should not be concerned. You must be concerned because it's affecting everybody.
This is army speaking in a democracy. Army is telling you you should be afraid. In a democracy. Democratic dividend. You know that nonsense they keep saying. Democratic fruits of democracy. The whatever democracy. This is the army telling you you should be afraid. You have to be afraid. The army is telling you to be afraid. Can you believe such nonsense? In a democracy? I don't believe this. The army is telling you people, Nigerians, you should be afraid in a democracy. Not shouldn't be afraid of, or Yetiana shouldn't be afraid of, or ISIS in West Africa, or Al-Qaeda in the Maghreb, no. You, the ordinary citizens, because you are gullible, because you're foolish, because you cannot reason very well. Let's continue to hear this man.
And if it's a business for everybody, I think it is what the whole Nigerians should see as our project and support the military and the army particularly to ensure that we bring this challenge to a halt. The next one is from if you don't hear any operation taking your place because that means it's peaceful. Of course, I can tell you Crocodile Smile is actually designed for the south and southwest, but we are focusing on the southeast because, of course, there are no challenges. Are
you listening? Operation Crocodile Smile, which is army operation, was designed for the lower part of Biafra land, the so-called south and southwest, which is Oduduwa. I won't call him Yoruba anymore because my good friend, my very learned friend, because he's a scholar. Tell me, Fanny Kayode is a scholar. He's a student of history. When I see idiots that even break chalk, talking nonsense, I just shoot them aside because they have no brain. Did you hear what the man said? Operation Crocodile Smile was for south and southwest, but we are focusing on southeast. And somebody from Igbo land will say I'm a Nigerian. The army is persecuting you. They have come out now to say, it is peaceful. He accepted that the place is peaceful. No, we are focusing there all the same. And you're telling me that anybody who calls himself a Nigerian should not be brought outside and burnt at the stake. Is that what you're telling me? Oh dear. I'm not going to continue with this, to be honest. I can't. It's very sad indeed. The army is telling you that they are focusing on your area. And you talk about, we came to do all this Operation Crocodile Smile, Operation Python Dance because of insecurity. Is that correct? Who is bringing insecurity? I've told you it is the Fulani people and their soldiers. This is a news report in Edo State. I read the headline for you. Police Police arrest soldiers for kidnapping and robbery. The same Fulani soldiers telling you, we are coming to do operation patrol, show your ID card. They are the ones actually doing the kidnapping. The army themselves. The police want to arrest them. Nigerian army. So these are the people asking for helicopter gunships. As maybe to increase the kidnapping and the harvesting of people and organs. We can see it. We went to Russia, we are asking for 4 helicopter gunships. We went to America, we want helicopter. Britain is helping us with guns and ammunition. I want the High Commissioner for Britain and every mission to Nigeria to know that every arm, every pistol, every assault rifle, every bullet you give to Nigerian army goes into lawlessness, into kidnapping and robbery. If in doubt, ask the Edo State Police Command. The army people are the ones doing the kidnapping. Is here. Look at them arrested. It's in black and white. And tomorrow people will write, I support our army. I support it. Is your army fighting any war outside the borders of the two? No. Then why do you support them in suppressing civilians? Why do you have the police? Are they not armed? Don't the police carry the same AK-47? Are you all not corrupt? All of you together. Both those who are leading and those who are led. Are you not all corrupt? Of course, for those who are in IPOB, the army people are the ones doing the kidnapping. They are the ones making life difficult for everybody. They think we will not know. But we know. And that is what we are exposing tonight. And I want to prove to people tonight that everything to do with lawlessness is coming from the north. They are army, they're the ones being arrested. With army. The same army, House Operation Python Dance, they come and they start kidnapping people. The same army that they came to fight crime, they create the crime themselves. And their brothers that they're helping. Yet Allah is not just insulting everybody, but threatening everybody. His name is Bodejo. I don't know where he comes from. You know what he said? No apologies for Benue killings. As I said to them in America, it's just like somebody coming and saying, I killed all those people, Tutsis in Rwanda, and I'm proud of it. And I make no apologies. And I think the whole world will go mad. But in the zoo that is called Nigeria, you can go in, slaughter, rape, destroy. With your carnage all over the place because you're Fulani cattle raider and the 4th most deadly terror group in the world. You stand up in front of everybody to say no apologies for Benue killings, and there'll be no peace in the south of the so-called zoo called Nigeria because you have said so. You are Fulani and you are in one Nigeria. And tomorrow idiots will come up and say we love one Nigeria. This is Alamaji. Probably from heaven knows, maybe from Senegal or from the farthest reaches of the share. Coming to tell you what to do in your land. And they are in Nigeria, the green, white, green. Oh dear, Lord have mercy. It's very sad indeed. It's depressing. What did he say? What did this Alamaji say? He is the national president of Miet Yala, Kauta, Lahore, Social Cultural. He's a murderous group, the 4th most deadly terror group in the world. They kill you and they come out and they say, we even want money for those killings. Remember when El Rufai begged them to stop the killing of Christians in southern Kaduna? You have forgotten. You are Nigerians, isn't it? You always forget. Oh dear. Oh dear. He said, I'm the national president of Nigeria. I didn't apologize to anybody. Our organization didn't apologize to anybody because Fulani herdsmen didn't kill or hasn't killed anybody. The same Fulani herdsmen that House of Rock said they're from Mali, from Niger, from Burkina Faso. All of a sudden, they have not killed anyone. And you see the way they enjoy national limelight. But IPOB that is fighting for, that is how stupid a black man is. IPOB that is actually fighting for your freedom. We contribute our money, we sacrifice our lives, we do everything possible to bring about your freedom. We are terrorists. The those coming to your farms, raping your mothers, they are good Nigerians. Do you know what reason that's because you're a black person? You are black. That is why Africa is backwards. Because of the way we reason. And hopefully it will come to an end very, very soon. And they are dividing and destroying our land. Dividing and destroying our land. Do you know the funniest thing? They said they're coming to demarcate the boundary between Ebonyi and Benue. But in this Ebonyi and Benue, they're the same family, the same people. It was Fulani that came and divided us into two. Put some in Benue, some in Ebonyi, the same family. It's something they did to Haji in Imo. Some are in rivers. Of course, we are brothers. We know that. But we're just merely pointing out the evil that happens. Some of you don't know that Obaro in Anambra State has more in common with people from Onyibe than those from Nnewi across the road, or those from Obosi. In fact, people from Obosi have more in common with the Gala people. As I keep saying all the time, the man Iweka is actually from Gala. And there is the Ata of Obosi, which is the same way you have the Ata of Gala. But you don't know these things, do you? The school won't teach you all these things. because Nigeria is evil. Very, very evil. They call them the national boundary. They said after preliminary work to demarcate boundaries and communities in Ebonyi, is it for you to come to our land to divide our land for us? Don't you know who we are again? They said everything is shared by the disgraced Vice President Yemi Yossi, but you know he has no shame. You know, in Africa, people have no honor and no shame, no dignity. No matter what they do to him, he will stay back. He's the VP. He wants to answer commander of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. That's how foolish people are. No honor and no dignity. He's the one they appointed to preside over the boundary issue. They said they'll come up with a program to do. Do you know who they're demarcating? You see the way they now call you Ebonyi and Benue boundary dispute. These are the same Igbo people. That's how they divide us now. Some say, I'm from Cross River. I'm not Igbo. I'm from Delta. Don't say I'm Igbo. That is how foolish we have become. But it will not happen because very soon our people will know the truth. Our people will know the truth. And that is why this very evening, as teachers are begging a governor contesting, because they know that they will be ready to power. The teachers are now begging, please, can you pay us our 39 months salary arrears, please? People that claim there is power in PVC, they hold the PVC in their hand, they're holding it. And the man who is supposed to pay their salaries has squandered everything in the fight against BIAFRA, as they will say, in an Mazi territory. Bello is busy, he has squandered money belonging to teachers. I think the other of the government gave him a national chieftaincy title. Because he has no conscience, he has no soul. People are evil in Black Africa, evil to the core. Imagine if your wife, your sister, your brother, your uncle, your aunt is a teacher in Kogi, and they've not paid her or him for 39 months. Will you still support the governor? They should say that your PVC is useless. They hold the PVC, they have the powers in their hands to actually get rid of the governor. But will they do it? The answer is no. Do you know why they won't do it? Because they are black. Do you think a white man would do this rubbish? Of course not. Of course not. That's all because we are black. And on that very sad note, I know that a lot of people have been seeing some messages. They said they're listening to us with their data, and because of that, they have actually run out. But there is one particular piece of news I must bring to your attention. It's about Abba Kyari, who is actually the president of Nigeria. Some of you know, but pretend you don't know. Some of you also have seen the latest portrait of Jubril that the circulated claiming is Buhari. Jubril is meant to be 76 years of age. Hamid Ali, who is the comptroller of customs, is 64 years. But it looks as if Hamid Ali is the father of Jubril, of Buhari, I should say. Oh, dear me. Who did this to black people? Where did we get this stupidity from? It must be genetic. It sounds very depressing, but that is the truth. It must be genetic, because there is no other plausible explanation that a people can be so useless to the point that you're showing them something and they say, no, but I can't see it. Oh dear. Oh dear.
Very unfortunate. Very unfortunate, I must tell you. Very, very unfortunate. God will punish Nigerians. Anybody that beat their hand on the chest and say they are Nigeria, thunder will fire all of you. God will punish all of you. All your children will be evil because you people are wicked. Anybody that will come out openly and say, I support Nigeria, whether you are from America, whether you are from Britain, China, Japan, you are a human being, God will punish you. Satan will destroy all of you. The evil seed you have sown in Nigeria, it shall get to all your family. Your evil will, there will be no shame for you. All of you will dance openly in the marketplace. Look at you. Hey, we are Nigeria. That Abino who says a high commission, and shame on all of you. You people are wicked. You people are evil. But there will be no hiding place for any of you. See, I want to control my temper. Because what I would have said this morning, having listened to our leaders' broadcast, maybe would have sent many satellites out of the space. Because you people don't have sense. You people don't have sense. You don't have sense. I don't care who you are. You can be Angel Michael, Angel Gabriel, not to talk of England or London or America. God will punish all of you. Can't you see your evil cannot be hidden any longer? Can't you see all of you are dancing nakedly in the marketplace? Can't you see the whole world is looking at you? Both the lunatics, both the intellectual, both the hopeless people, both the beggars. Everybody's looking at all of you. You turn the world into a theater of war. You create chaos and you play angel because you can manufacture artificial wing. God will punish all of you. Any Nigerian who says in Nigeria, God will punish you. All of you, God will punish all of you. British, God will punish all of you. Don't you think you have overstayed here in Biafra land? What is the useless woman's name? You are high commissioner. God will punish you. I know you don't have child. You are barren. Because if you have children, you ever care for your children, you will start seeing your menstruation, British High Commissioner, coming to visit Biafra land. If you don't visit us in the gutter, if you don't visit us in the marketplaces, if you do not show the world how you have visited Biafra land, and you are showing us governor's office, I am telling you that as you are going back to the headquarters of the zoo called Nigeria, you will begin to see your menstruation. By the ordination upon my life, I say you will begin to see your menstruation. Your menstruation will not end again till you die. You have to show them your interview in the marketplace. British High Commissioner, come to the marketplace. Come to the farm where your Fulani headsmen, your terrorists, underground terrorists are doing havoc. British High Commissioner, travel along the road of Biafra. Show the world what your Boko Haram terrorists, army and police are doing on our highway. If you don't do that, I decree to you that on your leaving Biafra land, you will begin to see your menstruation. I know you are in your monopause stage, but by the anointing upon my life, you will begin to see your menstruation, and you shall see it in the last day of your life. If you avert that cause from reigning in your life, it shall go to your children, I swear. Because you are all dancing nakedly in the marketplace. But of course, who will say it for you? They say it's a hate speech, it's a hate speech. But sometimes I wonder, hate speech and hate action, which one is better? You people should stop fooling yourself. You have the time to make amends. Divide Nigeria. Let Oduduwa go and worship their God in their Yoruba church, and go and eat their cocoa. Let Fulani take their cow and go. Let them leave Biafrans alone. This is not too much to ask for, and I believe so. I'll be signing off from here. Honestly, I've taken much of the time, but this gospel must be repreached. Because when I woke up this morning, Chukwu Kikabi Ahmad with me. Once have I spoken, and twice you people have heard, and I say, yes, sir, that is how it is. And then you have to be listening to the brokers of our leader, and that is how or why we are here. Everybody go about your lawful business, and let's begin to wait for the medical report of the High Commissioner of Britain to Biafra land. She must travel on Biafra road and show the world the truth. She must go to the farm and see where Fulani headsmen, the British terrorist group, are causing mayhem. She must come to our marketplaces and see what their evil is really thriving. She can't deceive us visiting one hotel to another. No, we've passed that stage. Evil people, mad people.
Obodo kenenu Kanu, Nnamdi Kanu, Nnamdi Kanu, Amadike. Kani kenebenu Kanu, Nnamdi Kanu, Nnamdi Kanu, Amadike. Amadike Biafra, Nnamdi Kanu, Nnamdi Kanu, Amadike. Ika bugondilo yo, Nnamdi Kanu, Nnamdi Kanu, Amadike. Nnamdi Kanu, Amadike. Amadike Biafra, Nnamdi Kanu, Nnamdi Kanu, Amadike. Odogwa nebula buke, Nnamdi Kanu, Nnamdi Kanu, Amadike. Ika bugondilo yi, Nnamdi Kanu, Nnamdi Kanu, Amadike. Endilo yi na kosuko, Nnamdi Kanu, Nnamdi Kanu, Amadike. Banoke suko, Nnamdi Kanu, Umu Biafra Ghana, Nnamdi Kanu, Nnamdi Kanu, Ọhamadike. Egwu ndị Kalotu Ikolobia bi n'obodo a mmadụ anọzi ife ya. Egwu ndị Ikolobia Biafra bana anyị obele nwa onye fara ibeku Chukwu zitela nye ya. Ndị Yoruba jụziri ajụ